Hello, everyone. I wanted to first come out and say, maybe you don't realize this, but I don't have a lot of money. I am developmentally disabled. I'm on Social Security. I get $932 a month. My rent is $660. That's $660. My electric is almost $200. And by the way, I don't have to worry about food stamps. I don't have to worry about food because food stamps cover my food because I get it from the Dollar Tree. But you know what? I make products. I have a lot of people I owe money to because I borrowed money from my friends to get the tools and the equipment to be able to create epic products. And I got raw materials to do these things, to cast and smelter and craft and wood carve and do fabric working and other stuff. People that believed in me were willing to loan me things and all that equipment wise and all that, and I owe people money for the assistance that and the loans that I borrowed. But let me tell you something. I don't have the money to cash up anyone to try to promote my business. I don't have any money to PayPal anyone to promote my business. So I ask you to please not ask for that. I offer you a wonderful option to help a disabled person who is classified by the government as a disabled adult child. That's why I'm entitled to Social Security disability benefits for the rest of my life. I'm on SSDI and SSI, Supplemental Security Income, and Social Security Disability Insurance, essentially. I also have food stamps, I'm on Medicare and Medicaid, but you know what? I'm tired of being on government subsidies. I have no ability to ever rise above poverty at this way. I've worked at day habs from the board of DD. They give me employment opportunities through day habs, which are basically daycare where I go and I maybe wipe a window when I get a little bit of money or something. There's never really any real work. I mean, there might be like 15 minutes of paid work a day because they don't really have any real jobs. But you know that? I worked for 12 years and that type of thing. And I'm tired of that. I wanted to really start doing stuff, being able to make things and make money and all that. So I'm trying to get, off government subsidies. Some would call that a noble aspiration, a noble goal to not have to constantly be dependent on the government for your survival. But you know what? I owe a lot of people money. That bike I made, that I worked so hard, the one right out that window right there, that I got parked right there, that thing was hard. I had to really make the deal of what I call the deal of a lifetime, where I traded a lot of my most coolest inventory. I had to pay a good chunk of money of what I had to save for a while, and I had to do a lot of things to try to get that nice bike right there, the one I worked so hard for. But you know what? I try so hard to try to get myself a better life. A lot of people, probably look at me and they think, "Oh, you're just a developmentally disabled person. You're not gonna amount to anything." Because I've heard that for so long in my life. I have heard that so long, and so much of my life has been hearing that.
Oh,
There you are.
you were down here.
Yeah, I get tired though. You're welcome. Yeah, I get tired of being on Social Security and essentially dependent on the government. My business, it's called Allusions of Grandeur. It's called that for actually several reasons. First of all, I want people to be able to feel like they're somebody. I'd be able to allude to a level of grandeur, a level of greatness that they don't have. you know. So if you want to look like a king, a queen, an emperor, an empress, a lord, a lady, a duke or duchess, count or countess, or, baron, baroness, or anything else, you could. And not with the cheap plastic stuff that is common, but with the finest quality items that are never really found anywhere else. I mean, the stuff I make is literally not something you generally find in the world today. From armor to the weapons to the apparel, the jewelry, the crowns, the sovereign's orbs, scepters, and countless other things, you don't really see stuff like the stuff I make. And you definitely don't see it anywhere else. I'm trying so hard to try to make a business that can one day, just maybe, be able to get me off government subsidy. I want so much to do great things and have a good life, buy a home, be able to get officially married to the woman I love, and not just call myself married. That way no one can say that Sally and I are living in sin. No one could say that. And I want to be able to raise a family, start a family, you know, have a good life, make a lasting impression in this world. Maybe that's too much for a person of developmental disability. I'm starting to think that way. But you know what? I will do everything I can to make this work. And one of the things I've always tried to do is, and it mentions this, by the way, on my Facebook page, on my various, on my various website things, which I used to have two websites, but one of them I couldn't afford to keep, so that one no longer is under my control. But the other one is still, which is illusionsofgrandeur.com. By the way, also Illusions of Grandeur is also a pun on the delusions of grandeur that everybody says that I have, because everybody's like, "Oh, you're delusional. You're a nobody. You're deluding yourself with the grandiose things, and you've got delusions of grandeur." It's actually in my ISP that I have delusions of grandeur. Well, I'm trying to say I don't have delusions. I will make it a reality. I will make this dream a reality. And the only way I can do that, though, is by success. Showing it to everyone who said I would never amount to anything. Having grown up in an abusive family, where I was horribly abused in every way a person can possibly imagine, I wanted to, when other people would probably succumb to many various things, when my father was burying into me for being born a freak, as he called it, being born mosaic hermaphrodite as a intersex thing, and he was burying himself into me, and my own family was assisting in the violation of my body for 8.5 years. It took the Department of Public Health and Human Services that long to rescue me from that kind of abuse in the state of Montana. And I'll forevermore be grateful to Diana Hammond from the Department of Public Health and Human Services in Sydney, Montana, for rescuing me. But you know what? I get tired of the fact that everybody's like, "Oh, you're going to be nothing." Everybody said that to me my whole life. But when people were burying into me in a way that no kid should ever be buried into, and forced to become more adultish and all that, when that was happening to me, I was burying my nose in a book. That's the only way I learned to deal with the trauma, was trying to distract myself by trying to learn things. So you know what? I learned many skills, and I am so proud of myself for overcoming that trauma and getting through that, and not becoming what my father was. But you know what? I want to one day be a better person than he could ever be. Not really hard to do, but I wanna be making my own fortune. Money talks, bullshit walks is why he always got away with his crimes. But I want to make my own fortune. I want to make my own life and have nice things. So please, consider, if you will, supporting my business. Thank you.